Welcome to the Guelph Real Estate Report podcast with your host and Guelph Realtor, Ryan Waller. This podcast is designed to provide information for those buying and selling homes in the Guelph area to make the process more informative, fun, and a little less stressful. Now, on with the show.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan, and welcome to episode number 3. We made it. And this is something, on a side note, this podcast is something that we've wanted to try out for quite some time and just haven't gotten around to doing it. And the slower February has given us the time to get this off the ground. So we're thankful. It's actually worked out well, and it's a compliment to some of the other things that we do. For those who may be new, we do a monthly video for Guelph Today. We've been doing these videos and articles for 7 years now on Guelph Today every single month. We now also have a Waller Wednesday slot on Magic FM. The last Wednesday of every month, we join the morning show live on air to talk about Guelph real estate and topics related to Guelph real estate. And so this podcast was just simply an extension of that to give people an audio version of what's going on in the market. It's supposed to be a quick hit. These aren't really designed to be more than 10 minutes at most. But the goal is to, as it's always been for us, to provide our clients with information on the market without a spin. You can make your own decisions as a buyer or seller. We are just helping you along that journey. So today we are going to talk about the February year-to-date sales and how that stacks up versus the previous 5 years, because there's a bit of a story to it. So if you look at year-to-date, starting January 1st until now, it's been slow. January is always slow. It tends to pick up a little bit in February, but then from March to June are the biggest months of the year, with May being usually the peak. And notably, from July onwards, it slows down. So it's not surprising to see January a little bit slower, but here we are into February. And if you're selling a house or you're on the selling side of a transaction, you might be a little bit concerned. You might have noticed a few things in the market, maybe not enough activity, not enough sales. Maybe your house is sitting a little bit longer. Maybe the price that your neighbor got for their house, you're struggling to find a buyer to pay that now. And so you're not out to lunch. That's exactly what we're experiencing in the Guelph real estate market today. And so to give you some hard facts, what we look at are the sales velocities, or the units that have sold per day in February for the past 5 years. And so here are the numbers. In 2020, on average in Guelph, 7.3 homes sold per day. February 2021, it was 8.8. February 2022, it was also 8.8. February 2023, the number was 4.9 houses selling per day on average in Guelph. And last year, February 2024, it was 5.1. So to recap those numbers again in February, starting in 2020, they are 7.3, 8.8, 8.8, 4.9, and 5.1. And for 2025, we're at 3.2. And that is a very slow month. That's less than half of the sales volume that happened in 2021 and 2022. Very slow. In fact, it's up there with December numbers as being very slow. And of course, there are a variety of reasons for it. If you are in the manufacturing sector, you are probably a little bit concerned. U.S. tariffs can have a major impact on our area. There was a report I saw somewhere online that said that Guelph in particular, Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge area, but also including Guelph, was likely to be one of the most impacted regions with tariffs. And because with tariffs, it costs the U.S. more money to receive the product, and therefore there would be less demand from Canadian manufacturers and suppliers as a result. And so that means layoffs, and that means a ripple effect. And, you know, it's not just Linamar as an example that could be impacted, or Hitachi or Toyota. It's all of the supporting elements of those two. So, even to the extreme level, the people that eat lunch at the manufacturing plants on their lunch break, they go out to a local restaurant to eat. Well, if they're fearful of their job or they're fearful of losing their job, they cut back on that sort of thing. So there is a giant ripple effect of not only the impacted industry of a tariff, but also everything else that person who works at that company may be doing is impacted. They may go out to a restaurant less. They may eat differently. They may change their grocery bill. They may change their grocery store. All of those things are impacted as a result of these tariffs. It's a giant ripple effect. The other element related to it is unemployment in Ontario, and even hiring Guelph is a bit of a challenge for some people. And you're not going to move when you don't have a job or you're fearful of your job being lost. Another one could be interest rates. Interest rates are coming down, but they're coming down for a reason, unemployment. And there are many people that are locked into mortgages into 2025 later this year and 2026 that have really good rates. I know people that have rates under 2%. And they're not going to mess with that anytime soon. They don't want anything to do with that until the time comes. And so they're not doing anything either. And so as a result, there is just less activity in the market than we'd see in a typical February. Will that continue on? I don't know. So at some point, the market conditions are going to be beneficial enough for the buyers to jump back into the market. Are we there yet? It doesn't appear to be. But if interest rates calm down, if this tariff talk calms down, buyers may be in the mode this spring to do something. But if this overhanging tariff talk is still going on, the government will be hesitant with interest rates. The market in totality is probably going to be a little bit nervous. We could be in for a slow spring as well, and brace yourselves. We'll give you updates on this podcast, but brace yourselves because I don't think we're in for a typical year in 2025. As always, if you have more questions on the Guelph real estate market, feel free to give us a call, send us an email, book an appointment directly on our website at bethandryan.ca.